The grand ballroom glittered with golden lights. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling. The richest families in the city were gathered, whispering behind their expensive champagne glasses. Everyone was staring at the couple standing at the altar. The groom was Ethan Carter, a self-made billionaire known for his cold personality and sharp business mind. And the bride, Lily Dawson, the most beautiful woman in the room. Her long white dress flowed like moonlight across the marble floor. Her eyes looked calm, but deep inside, a storm was raging. Because this wedding was not about love. It was about revenge. 3 years ago, Lily's father lost everything. His company collapsed overnight. Their house was taken, their reputation destroyed. And the man responsible for it all was Ethan Carter. At least, that's what Lily believed. So she made a promise while standing beside her father's hospital bed. I will destroy him the same way he destroyed us. And the perfect opportunity came when Ethan suddenly proposed a contract marriage. A fake marriage to satisfy his powerful family. Ethan needed a wife. Lily needed revenge. So she said yes. The priest's voice echoed in the silent hall. Do you, Ethan Carter, take Lily Dawson as your lawful wife? Ethan's sharp dark eyes glanced at Lily. His face showed no emotion. I do. The guests clapped politely. Then the priest turned to Lily. And do you, Lily Dawson, take Ethan Carter as your lawful husband? For a moment, Lily remembered her father lying weak in the hospital. She remembered the humiliation their family suffered. Her fingers tightened slightly. Then she looked directly into Ethan's eyes and smiled. I do. The ring slipped onto her finger. The crowd applauded. But inside Lily's heart, a cold whisper echoed. This is only the beginning. The luxury penthouse overlooked the entire city. Ethan removed his suit jacket calmly. You should know something, he said without looking at her. This marriage is only a contract. Lily raised an eyebrow. Oh. Ethan poured himself a glass of whiskey. We will appear as a perfect couple in public. But in private, we are strangers. Lily walked slowly toward him, her heels clicking softly on the marble floor. That works perfectly for me. For the first time, Ethan looked slightly surprised. Lily smiled sweetly. Because Ethan didn't know one thing. She didn't marry him to be his wife. She married him to ruin his life. Weeks passed. Something strange started happening. Ethan wasn't the cruel monster Lily expected. Instead, he quietly protected her from his toxic family. He defended her during business meetings. He even stayed up all night beside her when she got sick. And slowly, Lily began to feel something dangerous. Something she never planned. One night, she whispered to herself while watching Ethan sleep. Why are you being kind to me? Because if she fell in love, her revenge would be impossible. And Lily Dawson had sworn she would never forgive him. But what she didn't know was that Ethan Carter had been hiding a secret for 3 years. A secret that could destroy everything. 3 weeks passed after the wedding. To the outside world, Ethan Carter and Lily Dawson looked like the perfect couple. Every magazine featured their photos. Every business party admired them. The powerful billionaire and his beautiful, mysterious wife. But inside the penthouse, they lived like strangers. Separate bedrooms. Short conversations. Cold politeness. Exactly the way Ethan wanted it. And exactly the way Lily needed it. Because the closer she got to him, the harder her revenge would become. One evening, Lily attended a business charity gala with Ethan. The ballroom buzzed with powerful people. Business tycoons. Politicians. Investors. But Lily immediately felt something strange. People were staring at her. Whispering. Judging. Finally, she heard a cruel voice behind her. Well, if it isn't the bankrupt girl. Lily turned slowly. Standing there was Victoria Hale, a famous socialite known for her arrogance. Victoria smirked. I'm surprised Ethan married someone like you. Her voice dropped lower. A girl whose father destroyed his own company. The words stabbed Lily like a knife. Her cheeks burned with humiliation. But before she could respond, a deep voice interrupted. Be careful with your words. The room went silent. Ethan had stepped beside Lily. His expression was cold enough to freeze the entire room. Victoria laughed nervously. "Oh, Ethan. I was just joking." Ethan cut her off. "My wife deserves respect." His arm gently wrapped around Lily's waist. "If you can't give that..." His eyes turned icy. "Leave." Victoria's face turned pale. Within seconds, she walked away. The entire ballroom whispered again. But this time, they whispered with respect. Later that night in the car, Lily finally spoke. "You didn't have to do that." Ethan kept his eyes on the road. "I did." "Why?" His answer was simple. "You're my wife." That was it. No emotion. No explanation. But those words echoed strangely inside Lily's heart. Because this man she wanted to destroy was the same man protecting her. And she didn't understand why. The file. 2 days later, Lily was alone in Ethan's private office. She wasn't supposed to be there. But curiosity was stronger than caution. This was her chance to finally find proof of what he did to her father. She opened his laptop. Most files were locked. Except one. A folder labeled Dawson Corporation, Confidential. Her heart started racing. This was her father's company. Her hands trembled slightly as she opened it. Inside were dozens of documents. Financial reports, contracts, emails. But something didn't make sense. Because the files showed something shocking. Ethan hadn't destroyed her father's company. He had actually tried to save it. Lily's breathing stopped. No, this can't be right. According to the documents, someone else had sabotaged the company. Someone powerful. Someone who stole millions and blamed it on Lily's father. And Ethan had secretly paid the company's debts after it collapsed. Lily stared at the screen in disbelief. Then why did everyone blame Ethan? Suddenly, a voice spoke behind her. "You shouldn't be looking at that." Lily turned quickly. Ethan stood at the door. His expression unreadable. Her heart pounded. "Tell me the truth," she demanded. "Did you destroy my father's company?" For a long moment, Ethan said nothing. Then he walked closer and quietly answered, "No." Lily's voice trembled. "Then why didn't you tell anyone?" Ethan looked away. Because the truth was far more dangerous. He finally spoke. Because the person responsible is someone extremely powerful. More powerful than you think. Lily's chest tightened. "Who?" Ethan hesitated. For the first time since their marriage, he looked genuinely worried. And then he said something that froze Lily completely. "The person who destroyed your father's company is someone very close to you." Lily felt the world spinning around her. Ethan's words echoed in her mind. "The person who destroyed your father's company is someone very close to you." Her voice came out almost like a whisper. "What do you mean, someone close to me?" Ethan didn't answer immediately. He walked toward the window of the penthouse and looked down at the glowing city. For a moment, silence filled the room. Then Lily spoke again more firmly. "Tell me the truth." Ethan finally turned around. His expression was serious. "Before I answer that, I need to ask you something." Lily crossed her arms. "What?" "Do you trust your stepmother?" The question hit Lily like lightning. "My stepmother?" Ethan nodded slowly. "Sophia Dawson. The elegant woman who married Lily's father 5 years before the company collapsed. Sophia had always been kind, gentle, supportive. After the bankruptcy, she stayed beside Lily's father until his death." Lily frowned. "That's impossible." Ethan's eyes remained calm. "Is it?" Lily shook her head quickly. "She loved my father. She supported him when everyone abandoned him." Ethan walked closer. "And after the company collapsed, where did she go?" Lily froze. Because suddenly she realized something strange. Sophia disappeared a few months after her father died. No goodbye. No explanation. She simply left the country. At that time, Lily thought she couldn't handle the grief. But now it felt different. Ethan opened a file and placed a photo on the table. Lily looked down. Her breath stopped. The photo showed Sophia Dawson sitting in a luxury restaurant. Across from her was a powerful businessman. A man Lily recognized immediately. Richard Hale, the owner of one of the biggest corporations in the city, and the father of the arrogant socialite from the party. Victoria Hale. Lily looked up slowly. What does this mean? Ethan's voice was quiet. Richard Hale planned the collapse of your father's company. And Sophia helped him. Lily's heart pounded violently. No, you're lying. But Ethan shook his head. She transferred company funds secretly to Hale's offshore accounts. Then she blamed the financial disaster on your father. Lily felt her knees weaken. That's impossible. Ethan spoke softly. I tried to expose them, but Hale's influence was too strong. And your father, Ethan paused, refused to believe his wife betrayed him. Tears slowly filled Lily's eyes. Her entire world was collapsing. All these years, she believed Ethan destroyed her family. She hated him. She planned revenge. But the real enemy was someone she once called mother. Lily looked at Ethan again. If you knew all this, why didn't you tell me earlier? Ethan answered honestly. Because you already hated me. And because exposing Richard Hale without evidence would destroy you too. Lily whispered. So, you just let me hate you? Ethan's voice lowered. Yes. The room fell silent. For the first time, Lily looked at Ethan differently. This man she married to destroy had actually been protecting her for 3 years. Suddenly she remembered something. Her father's last words in the hospital. Ethan is not your enemy. But she had been too angry to listen. A tear slipped down her cheek. I was wrong. Ethan didn't respond, but his expression softened slightly. Just then, Ethan's phone rang. He answered immediately. His face darkened after hearing the voice on the other side. What happened? Lily asked. Ethan ended the call slowly. His voice turned serious. Richard Hale just returned to the city. Lily's chest tightened. And he knows about our marriage. But that's not the worst part. Lily looked at him nervously. What do you mean? Ethan's eyes turned cold. He's not coming for me. He's coming for you. Because Lily Dawson had just discovered a secret powerful people would kill to keep hidden. And now, she had become a target. The rain poured heavily over the city that night. Dark clouds covered the sky, and thunder echoed in the distance. Inside the luxury penthouse, Lily stood quietly near the window. Her mind was still spinning from the truth Ethan revealed. Her stepmother, the woman she trusted for years, was the one who betrayed her father. And the real enemy was Richard Hale. Lily whispered softly to herself. How could she do that to us? Behind her, Ethan watched silently. For the first time since their marriage, he saw how fragile Lily truly was. But before he could say anything, his phone suddenly vibrated. A message from his security team. Ethan read it once. Then his face turned serious. What is it? Lily asked. Ethan looked up. Our security system detected someone near the building. Lily frowned. Maybe just paparazzi. Ethan shook his head slowly. No. Then he walked quickly toward the door. Stay here. Lily's heart suddenly felt uneasy. Where are you going? To check. Minutes later, Lily couldn't calm her nerves. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. She grabbed her coat and stepped into the elevator to go downstairs. The hallway was silent. The parking garage was almost empty. Lily walked toward her car slowly. The sound of rain echoed through the large concrete space. Then, footsteps. Lily froze. Someone was behind her. Before she could turn around, a man suddenly grabbed her arm violently. She gasped. Who are you? The man wore a black hood and mask. His voice was cold. You should have stayed away from Hale's business. Fear rushed through Lily's body. He pulled out a knife. Her heart stopped. Help! But before she could scream, a powerful punch hit the attacker from the side. The man collapsed instantly. Ethan stood there, his eyes burning with fury. How dare you touch her? The attacker quickly stood up and ran toward the exit. Security guards rushed in seconds later. But the man disappeared into the rain. Ethan turned toward Lily immediately. His voice was sharp. Are you crazy? Lily blinked in shock. What? I told you to stay upstairs. I just wanted to. Ethan grabbed her shoulders. His expression filled with anger and fear. Do you have any idea what could have happened? Lily was stunned. Because Ethan Carter, the cold billionaire, looked genuinely terrified. For her, she whispered softly. You were worried. Ethan suddenly released her and stepped back. His voice returned to its cold tone. You're my responsibility. But Lily noticed something. His hands were slightly shaking. Back in the penthouse, Ethan spoke to his security team. Then he turned to Lily. It's confirmed. That man works for Richard Hale. Lily's stomach dropped. So, he really wants me dead. Ethan nodded. You now know something dangerous. And Hale eliminates problems. Lily slowly sat down. The situation was far more serious than she imagined. Then she asked quietly, what happens now? Ethan looked directly at her. His answer was simple. You stay with me. What? From now on, you don't go anywhere alone. You are under my protection. Lily felt something strange in her chest.
Warm.
Safe. For the first time in years, she didn't feel alone. But neither of them noticed something. From a dark car across the street, someone was watching the penthouse and speaking on the phone. Yes. A female voice answered from the other side. Is Lily Dawson alive? The man replied quietly. Yes, madam. The woman's voice turned cold. Then next time, don't miss. Because the person behind the attack was not only Richard Hale. There was someone else pulling the strings. Someone Lily never expected to see again. Sophia Dawson, her stepmother. The next morning, the penthouse felt unusually quiet. Rain clouds still covered the sky, and the city looked gray and cold. Lily sat at the dining table, holding a cup of coffee. But she wasn't really drinking it. Her mind kept replaying the attack from last night. The knife. The masked man. Ethan arriving just in time. If he had been even a few seconds late, she slowly shook her head, trying not to think about it. Across the room, Ethan was talking to his security team on the phone. Increase the guards around the building, he said calmly, and check every visitor before they enter. He ended the call and turned toward Lily. You should rest today. Lily looked up. You're going to work? Yes. After what happened last night? Ethan's voice stayed calm. Running from problems doesn't solve them. Lily didn't reply, but something inside her felt uneasy. Before Ethan could leave, the penthouse doorbell suddenly rang. Both of them looked toward the door. Ethan frowned slightly. I'm not expecting anyone. The door opened, and a woman walked in confidently. She was tall, elegant, wearing a beautiful red coat and high heels. Her long dark hair flowed over her shoulders, and her eyes were sharp and confident. She looked directly at Ethan and smiled. Hello, Ethan. For the first time since Lily met him, Ethan looked shocked. Claire? Lily's eyes moved between them. Claire? The woman walked closer and gently hugged Ethan. I've missed you. Lily felt something strange in her chest. Something uncomfortable. She asked quietly. Who is she? Ethan hesitated. Before he could answer, the woman spoke first. I'm Claire Anderson. She smiled politely at Lily. I used to be Ethan's girlfriend. The room suddenly felt colder. Lily's fingers tightened around her coffee cup. Ethan quickly stepped back from Claire. Why are you here? Claire shrugged casually. I just came back from Europe yesterday. And I heard you got married. Her eyes moved slowly toward Lily. I had to see the woman who replaced me. Lily forced a calm smile. This isn't a replacement. It's a marriage. Claire's lips curved slightly. Is it? She looked back at Ethan. Because last time I checked, Ethan didn't believe in love. Ethan's voice turned cold. That was 3 years ago. Claire stepped closer to him. But people don't change that easily. Then she looked directly at Lily again. And I know Ethan better than anyone. Lily suddenly stood up. Her voice calm but firm. Then you should also know something. Claire raised an eyebrow. What? Lily walked beside Ethan and gently held his arm. I'm his wife now. For a moment, silence filled the room. Claire's smile slowly faded. Ethan looked at Lily, slightly surprised. But he didn't pull his arm away. Claire finally laughed softly. Interesting. Then she looked at Ethan again. Well, we'll see how long this marriage lasts. Ethan's voice hardened. Claire. She raised her hands playfully. Relax. I'm just here for business. Business. My company is partnering with yours. Ethan's expression darkened. Who approved that? Claire smiled. Your board of directors. That meant one thing. Claire would now be around Ethan almost every day. Lily felt a strange tension growing inside her. Because Claire wasn't just an old girlfriend. She was confident, beautiful, and clearly still interested in Ethan. But none of them realized something dangerous. Claire wasn't just here for business. Later that night, she sat inside a black car and made a phone call. Mr. Hale, she said quietly. I'm inside Ethan Carter's company now. A deep voice answered from the other side. Good. Claire looked up at Ethan's penthouse building. Her smile turned cold. Don't worry. I'll destroy their marriage from the inside. The days after Claire's arrival became tense. Inside Carter Corporation, everyone quickly noticed something unusual. Claire Anderson was always near Ethan. Meetings, business dinners, strategy discussions, everywhere. And she behaved like she already belonged there. One afternoon, Lily walked into Ethan's office to bring him some documents. She stopped at the door. Inside the room, Claire was standing very close to Ethan. Too close. Claire leaned slightly over his desk, pointing at a contract. Her hand rested casually on Ethan's shoulder. Lily's chest tightened.
She didn't know why.
After all, their marriage was only a contract. At least that's what it was supposed to be. But something inside her felt uncomfortable. Ethan noticed Lily standing at the door. Lily. Claire turned around and smiled. Oh, the wife is here. Lily walked inside calmly. I didn't mean to interrupt. Claire laughed softly. You didn't. Ethan and I were just discussing old memories. Ethan's expression hardened slightly. We were discussing business. Claire shrugged. Business. Memories, sometimes they are the same. Lily placed the documents on Ethan's desk. Her voice stayed polite. These need your signature. Ethan nodded. Thank you. But Lily didn't leave immediately. For a brief moment, her eyes met Claire's. And Claire's smile looked almost like a challenge. Later that evening, Lily left the office early. She felt strangely tired. Her head was spinning. The city lights blurred slightly as she walked down the street. Suddenly she stopped. A wave of dizziness hit her. She quickly grabbed a nearby railing. A concerned voice spoke beside her. Miss, are you okay? It was a nurse from a nearby clinic. I'm fine, Lily said softly. But the nurse insisted. You don't look fine. You should come inside for a quick check. Lily hesitated, but the dizziness returned again. So she agreed. The doctor walked into the room with a gentle smile. Well, congratulations. Lily blinked in confusion. Congratulations? Yes. The doctor handed her a report. You're pregnant. For a moment, the entire world became silent. Lily stared at the paper. Her heart pounded rapidly. Pregnant? Her mind replayed one memory. The night after their wedding. The only night their marriage stopped being just a contract. Lily's hands trembled slightly. A baby. Ethan's baby. Instead of happiness, fear slowly filled her heart. Because their lives were already surrounded by danger. Richard Hale. Sophia Dawson. The attack. And now Claire's secretly working for Hale. How could she bring a child into this chaos? The doctor smiled warmly. Will you tell your husband? Lily forced a small smile. Yes, of course. But inside her mind, she wasn't sure. That night, Ethan returned late. He noticed Lily sitting quietly on the sofa. You're still awake. Lily nodded. I needed to talk to you. Ethan sat across from her. What is it? Lily hesitated. Her fingers tightened around the pregnancy report hidden in her pocket. She opened her mouth. But suddenly Ethan's phone rang. He answered immediately. After a few seconds, his face turned serious. I understand. He ended the call. What happened? Lily asked. Ethan's voice became cold. Richard Hale made his first move. Lily felt a chill. What do you mean? Ethan looked directly at her. Hale's company just launched a hostile takeover of Carter Corporation. This meant war. A dangerous corporate war between two of the most powerful men in the city. And Lily suddenly realized something terrifying. If Ethan lost this battle, everything would collapse, and her child's future would be destroyed before it even began. She quietly touched her stomach and whispered inside her heart, I have to protect this child no matter what, even if that meant walking away from Ethan Carter. The war between Ethan Carter and Richard Hale began immediately. News channels talked about it every day. Business analysts called it the biggest corporate battle of the decade. Stocks were falling. Investors were nervous. And inside Carter Corporation, the atmosphere was tense. But the real war wasn't happening in boardrooms. It was happening inside Ethan's own life. Because someone was quietly destroying everything from the inside. Claire Anderson. Late one evening, Claire sat alone in her office. Her phone lit up. The caller ID showed one name, Richard Hale. She answered calmly. Everything is going according to plan. Hale's deep voice echoed through the phone. Good. Claire leaned back in her chair. Ethan still trusts me. And Lily already feels insecure. Hale chuckled. Perfect. Claire smiled coldly. Soon their marriage will collapse on its own. And when that happens, Ethan Carter will lose everything. 2 days later, Claire invited Ethan to a late-night business meeting at a luxury hotel. It's about an important investor, she explained. Ethan agreed. Meanwhile, Claire sent a message to Lily. You should see this for yourself. Attached was a location and a photo. The photo showed Ethan entering a hotel room with Claire. Lily stared at the screen. Her chest tightened painfully. She tried to calm herself. It's probably business. But the doubt had already entered her mind. Without thinking further, she grabbed her coat and went to the hotel. Lily reached the hotel floor. Her heart beat faster with every step. She stood in front of the room. The door was slightly open. Inside, she heard laughter. Claire's voice. Soft. Flirtatious. Then Ethan's voice. But she couldn't hear the exact words. Lily pushed the door open and froze. Claire was sitting very close to Ethan on the couch. Her hand rested on his chest. And from Lily's angle, it looked like they were about to kiss. The world suddenly felt silent. Ethan immediately noticed Lily. But Lily stepped back. Pain filled her eyes. So, this is your business meeting? Claire slowly stood up. Her expression looked innocent. Oh, Lily, this isn't what it looks like. But the damage was already done. Lily looked at Ethan, her voice trembling. I trusted you. Ethan stood up quickly. It's not what you think. But Lily interrupted him. Don't. Tears slowly rolled down her face. I already know what kind of marriage this is. A contract. She turned around. And contracts can end. That night, Lily returned to the penthouse. She packed her suitcase quietly. Her hands trembled as she folded her clothes. She touched her stomach gently. I'm sorry, because Ethan still didn't know. He didn't know he was about to lose not only his wife, but also his child. Lily left a simple note on the table. This marriage was never real. You don't need to look for me. Then she walked out into the cold night. An hour later, Ethan returned to the penthouse. He had chased Lily from the hotel, but she disappeared in the traffic. When he entered the apartment, he immediately noticed something wrong. The silence. The empty closet. Then he saw the note. His heart dropped. For the first time in years, Ethan Carter felt completely powerless. He whispered softly to the empty room. Lily. But she was already gone. And he had no idea that the woman he loved was carrying his child. The city was still asleep when Lily left. Cold wind blew across the empty streets as she pulled her coat tighter around herself. Behind her, the glowing lights of Ethan's penthouse slowly disappeared in the distance. Lily didn't look back, because if she did, she knew she might not have the strength to leave. Her hand gently rested on her stomach. The doctor's words echoed in her mind. You're pregnant. Tears filled her eyes again. I'm sorry, Ethan, she whispered quietly. But I can't stay. The danger surrounding him was already too great. Richard Hale wanted to destroy Ethan. Claire was secretly working against him. And now Lily had become a target too. If Hale discovered she was pregnant, the baby would also be in danger. She couldn't risk that. So Lily Dawson disappeared that night, without telling anyone. The world believed Lily Dawson had simply left her husband. News articles quickly spread rumors. Billionaire marriage ends in scandal. Ethan Carter's wife disappears after cheating rumors. Many people blamed Lily. Others blamed Ethan. But no one knew the truth, except Ethan himself. And he refused to believe Lily would leave without a reason. For 3 months, he searched everywhere. Private investigators, security teams, even international agencies. But Lily had vanished completely, like she had never existed. Far away from the city, in a quiet coastal town, Lily stood near the ocean. The wind moved her long hair as she watched the waves. Her life was completely different now. No luxury penthouse. No glamorous parties. Just a small apartment above a bakery where she worked part-time. But Lily didn't mind, because every morning she woke up with one purpose: to protect her child. Her pregnancy had already started to show slightly. She smiled softly while touching her stomach. "You and me," she whispered. "We'll be okay." But even after months, one person still lived inside her heart: Ethan. She remembered the way he protected her, the way he looked at her that night in the parking garage, the fear in his eyes when she was in danger. Sometimes she wondered, what if I misunderstood everything? But it was too late now. Or at least that's what she believed. Back in the city, Ethan stood inside his office late at night. His desk was covered with investigation files, photos, reports, documents. For months, he searched for answers. And finally, one piece of evidence changed everything. His investigator placed a file in front of him. "We found something." Ethan opened it slowly. Inside was security footage from the hotel 3 months ago, the night Lily left. The video clearly showed Claire entering the room first, then secretly placing cameras inside, then calling Lily. Ethan's eyes darkened. It was a trap. The investigator nodded. "Yes. And there's more." He placed another document on the table. It was a medical report from a small clinic. The investigator spoke quietly. "We also discovered something else." Ethan looked at the report and froze. The date was the same day Lily visited the clinic. The words on the paper felt unreal. Pregnancy confirmation. For a moment, Ethan couldn't breathe. His voice came out as a whisper. Lily was pregnant. The investigator nodded slowly. "Yes. And according to the timeline, the child is yours." Ethan leaned back in his chair. Shock, pain, regret, all crashing into him at once. For 3 months, his wife had been alone, pregnant, and running from enemies. Because of a lie. Ethan's eyes slowly filled with cold determination. "Find her." The investigator hesitated. "We've searched everywhere." Ethan's voice became deadly calm. "Then search the entire world. Because this time, I'm bringing my family back." The coastal town was quiet. Early morning mist hovered over the waves, hiding the world from view. Lily Dawson stood outside the small bakery, gently rubbing her stomach, her eyes reflecting both hope and fear. Suddenly, a familiar feeling crawled down her spine, a sense that someone was watching. She turned slowly and froze. Standing across the street was Ethan Carter. His eyes, dark and intense, locked on hers. His expensive black coat moved slightly in the wind. His presence was undeniable, commanding. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The months apart melted into a heartbeat. Lily swallowed hard. "Ethan, how did you?" He interrupted gently but firmly. "I never stopped looking for you." Tears welled up in her eyes. She wanted to run, to hide, to protect the baby inside her from all the chaos. But seeing him, safe, alive, determined, something inside her shifted. "You shouldn't have come," she whispered. "I had to," Ethan said. He stepped closer. "I know everything. Claire's trap. Hale." And he paused, his voice softening. "You were carrying my child." Lily's hand flew to her stomach. "You," she choked back tears. "You had no idea?" Ethan shook his head. "I realized too late." But now, his gaze hardened, full of resolve. I will protect both of you, no matter what. Inside the small cafe nearby, Ethan and Lily sat across from each other, discussing their next steps. We can't go back to the city yet, Lily said. Claire is still there. Hale is still planning something. And if anyone finds out I'm pregnant, Ethan nodded. I know. That's why we're going to strike differently. Quietly, strategically. First, we remove Claire from the equation. Then we take down Hale. Permanently. Lily's eyes widened. You mean revenge? Ethan's jaw tightened. Not just revenge. Justice. For the first time, Lily saw him not as a cold, untouchable billionaire, but as a man willing to risk everything for her and their child. A warmth spread through her chest, mixed with fear and hope. She whispered, "Then we do this together." Ethan reached out, holding her hand gently. Together. 2 weeks later, under the cover of night, Lily and Ethan returned to the city. They moved carefully, avoiding surveillance. They had one goal: confront Claire first. Inside Carter Corporation, Claire was unaware. She smiled confidently, thinking she had won. But when she walked into the office, she saw something she didn't expect. Ethan stood in front of her, eyes dark with controlled fury. Lily stood beside him, calm but strong. Claire laughed nervously. What is this? You can't. Ethan's voice cut through the air like steel. I told you once, you're done manipulating us. Step aside. Lily added softly, or leave. Claire's confidence faltered. She realized the power she had counted on was gone. Ethan's hand rested lightly on Lily's shoulder. She looked at him, her heart swelling. The months of separation, fear, and misunderstanding had led them here. Together, stronger, unstoppable. Outside the office, Hale's shadow still loomed. But for the first time, Lily felt hope. Because now, she wasn't alone. And the person she feared losing the most, her child, was safe in her arms. The city skyline glimmered under the night sky. Rain fell lightly, casting reflections across glass buildings. Inside Carter Corporation, Ethan and Lily prepared for the battle that would finally end Richard Hale's reign of terror. Ethan had spent weeks gathering evidence, emails, bank transfers, proof of illegal activities. Everything was ready. Claire had been neutralized quietly, her betrayal exposed to Hale's allies, leaving her powerless. Lily stood beside Ethan, her hand resting on her stomach. Fear and determination blended in her gaze. Are you sure this will work? Ethan looked at her, dark eyes burning with resolve. It has to. Tonight, Hale falls. And after that, we finally take control of our lives. Richard Hale awaited them in his penthouse, a tall glass fortress overlooking the city. He sipped whiskey calmly, smiling at the thought of finally cornering Ethan and destroying him. But he didn't expect Ethan to arrive with evidence in hand and Lily standing beside him. Richard's smile faltered. Well, look who's here. The little couple thinks they can challenge me. Ethan's voice was icy. Not think. No. I have proof of everything. Your embezzlement, your sabotage of Dawson Corporation, and your attempts to harm my wife. Lily stepped forward, confident. And I have nothing to fear from you anymore. You underestimated me, Richard. You forgot that the people you hurt can fight back. Richard's face turned red with rage. You think a contract wife, a pregnant girl, can stop me? Ethan held up a folder. Not a girl. The woman who survived your lies, your threats, and your schemes. And yes, pregnant with our child. So you better listen carefully. Ethan began laying out every detail: offshore accounts, Claire's manipulations, falsified documents, secret deals. Richard Hale's smug expression faded with each revelation. Lily added her testimony. You lied to everyone. You ruined my family. But you didn't account for one thing. You didn't account for us standing together. Hale's hands trembled as he realized the extent of his exposure. In minutes, the legal team Ethan had contacted arrived with the authorities. Hale's empire was collapsing. For the first time, Richard Hale felt powerless. He shouted, but no one listened. The walls he had built for decades crumbled within hours. The next morning, the news spread like wildfire. Billionaire Richard Hale arrested, Carter Corporation secures victory. Ethan and Lily watched the city from their new penthouse. The rain had stopped. The sun peeked through the clouds, casting warm golden light over the skyline. Lily turned to Ethan, smiling softly. "We did it." Ethan pulled her close, his hand resting on her stomach.
"No."
"You did it. You were brave through everything. And now our child is safe." Lily rested her head on his chest, feeling the baby move slightly. A small kick, proof that life and hope still existed after months of pain. "This is our beginning," Ethan whispered. "And this time," Lily said, smiling through tears, "love isn't a contract. It's real." Though Sophia's betrayal had once threatened to ruin everything, she had disappeared, powerless and exposed. Claire's manipulations were dismantled. Richard Hale's empire was in ruins. The city that once seemed dangerous now felt full of possibilities. For Ethan and Lily, the hardest battles were over. And in the quiet of the penthouse, Ethan held Lily's hand. "We survived everything together." Lily smiled. "Together. And now, nothing can break us." A soft glow from the morning sun reflected in their eyes. Hope, love, and a new life awaited them. The sun rose slowly over the city, casting a soft golden light through the penthouse windows. The rain from the night before had washed the streets clean, leaving a calm, quiet world outside. Inside the penthouse, the atmosphere was completely different. There was no fear, no tension, no shadows of the past. Only warmth, hope, and the gentle rhythm of a new beginning. Lily stood near the window, her hands resting gently on her growing belly. The months of fear, separation, and danger seemed like a distant memory now. For the first time, she felt truly safe. Ethan entered the room quietly, watching her from the doorway. He paused for a moment, taking in the sight of the woman he had once thought he might lose forever. "You look beautiful," he whispered softly. Lily turned, a small smile on her lips. "And you finally stopped looking like a billionaire madman." She teased gently, her voice light, though her eyes glimmered with emotion. Ethan chuckled softly. "I guess some things only happen after a fight or two." He walked over, taking her hands in his. "We've survived everything, Lily. The lies, the betrayals, even Hale." Lily's eyes filled with tears. "And now we can finally live. Not as strangers. Not as enemies. But as a family." Ethan's gaze softened, and for the first time, he let his walls down completely. "I promise," he said, voice low and steady. "I will protect you. Our child. Always." In the weeks that followed, Lily and Ethan focused on building their life together. Carter Corporation stabilized under Ethan's careful guidance, and the threat of Richard Hale and his allies disappeared completely. Claire Anderson left the city, her plans ruined. Sophia Dawson vanished without a trace, powerless to interfere. But the most important part of their lives wasn't the business empire. It was the small moments that reminded them why they fought so hard. The quiet mornings in the penthouse, the gentle kicks of their unborn child, the shared laughter that once felt impossible after months of fear. Lily rested her head on Ethan's chest one evening, feeling the steady beat of his heart. "I can't believe we made it," she whispered. Ethan kissed the top of her head gently. "We did. And now, nothing can take this from us." Months later, in the warmth of a sunlit hospital room, Lily held their baby for the first time. Ethan stood beside her, holding her hand, his eyes filled with tears and joy. The tiny child looked up at them, innocent and perfect, a symbol of hope and love after so much pain. Ethan whispered softly to Lily, "This is the life we fought for. Our life." Lily smiled, tears streaming down her face. "And this time, love isn't a contract. It's real. It's ours." They shared a long, tender embrace, finally free from the shadows of betrayal, revenge, and danger. Outside, the city moved on, unaware of the battle that had been fought and won. But for Ethan, Lily, and their child, the world was brighter than ever before. The story of heartbreak, revenge, and love had reached its perfect ending.